It's time to get into Secret Santa. Ready, set, go.
Let's see what we got here.
Gosh, this is so annoying.
What'd you get there?
Oh, God.
Oh, goodness gracious. It's awkward. Put them on in private. I'm not going to go out of the house with them.
Who is going to get lumps of coal in their stocking on the ATP list?
1 minute.
Delpo, Fritz, K.
John, that's on you, dude. You lost him in a semi.
No that is on me.
Welcome back to Nothing Major. I'm Sam Query. We've got John Isner, a good-looking Jack Sock in his Christmas jacket.
Thank you.
Steve Johnson, our executive producer, Charlie Fox, and his team at SIF Creative. It's time to get into Secret Santa. So let's open the gifts we got for each other.
It is that time of the year. It's the holiday season. So we have decided to go with a Secret Santa amongst the four of us on this podcast. We were assigned randomly as to who we were supposed to get a gift for. So all four of us have sent each other a gift. We do not know who it is. We're going to take guesses as to who sent what. We're going to have some reactions, hopefully some laughs. So we are going to kind of go around the circle here, and we'll start with John to open his first gift. And then we'll take some guesses and take some stabs in the dark here.
What was the price range we were looking at?
It was around $50.
20 to $50.
Yeah. We're hoping that we don't get any Venmo requests from Sam out of the four of us here. We're not sure what happened here.
All right, here we go. This is like, mine's nicely wrapped.
This is just good listening for anyone listening.
Yeah, this is good
audio.
podcasting right here.
This is ASMR or whatever.
Might want to talk us through this here, John. Give us some play-by-play.
I have no clue. I'm going to guess some sort of like, it's like a tripod or like a like a Hanukkah candle set, which don't think that would make any sense.
What?
I don't know what this is. It feels like candles or something.
3-prong Hanukkah candle set.
Oh, it's a cane. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. Oh, man.
That's good.
God, that's really good. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. It's pretty good.
It like folds up so it's easily, you can carry it around easily.
Yeah, oh, totally, dude. Look at this. It's like
This is going to come in handy. A little context here. John turns 42, I think, in April next year. So he's getting up there.
Oh, dude. Easy to assemble. Like,
That's unbelievable.
hold on. Like, it's obviously adjustable. I mean, like to my height.
That's great.
Max it out. You know, like in my old age, like I go on hikes now and stuff. Like this is
We'll have Maddie send us a picture of you guys taking the kids to the park with that.
I love the cane look.
It's great.
I'm not quite 40 yet. So anyways, I think I know who gave this to me. Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's a great gift. Great start to this little segment here. So let's go to this next eldest member of the podcast, Sam Query. Let's see what he's got.
All right. My wife just brought in 2 wrapped gifts and a thermos of some kind. So I don't know what that means. Gosh, this is so annoying.
What'd you get there?
I just opened some bacon. That is so good. I hope that's been in the fridge.
Some room temperature bacon.
And then in this one, it looks like it was going to be closed. It's cooked bacon. Oh, God.
You better eat some on camera, dude.
There's regular, maple, and candied. This actually looks pretty good.
We're not going to try any of that, or it looks pretty good.
I'm going to try it right now. I don't have a napkin in here. This is a big piece of maple.
Wait, I don't understand. Are you eating?
My wife just brought this in. I'm assuming someone must have sent this and then maybe convinced my wife to actually cook the bacon this morning. And then then there's also some extra bacon for me to eat at some point.
and what do you think? You took a bite of the maple?
I just took a big bite of the maple. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
There you go.
All right.
Okay. So wait, have you just changed your tune on bacon, Sam?
Yeah, this is a big moment.
No. I think it's good. I've always said it's good. It just like it gets too much credit for what it is.
Huh.
I'd much prefer to have bacon than a walking cane. But anyways.
It's a very practical gift, though.
It is.
All right. I am next as a nice Amazon box here. Some tissue paper.
What do we think we got?
I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff in here.
Don't look at the receipt.
Well, I didn't know if that was like something part
Isner's
of it or
way
not.
too into this. Yeah.
All right, I have another gift as well. I'm not going to spend time opening it like John. I'm just going to use my kid's scissors. And let's see what we got here. Oh, goodness gracious. I got a pair of socks for the LA Kings, and that is not a team of choice, as you can see behind me. I'm a massive Ducks fan. These probably won't go to good use on my feet, but I bet somebody in my household will enjoy them, as my wife and her entire family are massive Kings fans. I think I can take
It says best team ever on there.
It does say best team ever. Yeah. I would say
They are better than the Ducks. They've won a championship.
Arguably, they are
recently.
infinitely better than the franchise I root for. So my wife has been trying to convince me for, let's see, probably the better part of 10 years to stop rooting for loser franchises in Orange County. But I just can't do it. I won't quit on them, right? John knows I'm not going to quit on them at their worst. When they get to when they get back to the peak, like I will be there every day. So I have some new socks. I'm not sure I'm going to wear them today, but I will put them on. And at some point, I'll put them on in private. I'm not going to go out of the house with them. But thank you for these. But it's too close to home, okay? I'm a massive Ducks fan. Everybody knows that. Okay, enough about me. To Mr.
All right.
Sock with his beautiful Christmas sweater. He got into the holiday spirit with this episode. I love that Sam's just enjoying this bacon, by the way.
Still eating his bacon, yeah.
I'm jealous.
It's kind of squishy.
Is that good?
I don't know. I'm scared. It's kind of... Hello. Nice to meet you on the package. What is going on here?
Excited.
I don't know what this is, but it seems like some sort of like it's like some sort of like outfit or something. We got a burritos tortilla blanket. Is this a blanket? I have a note here. As one of two thick boys on the pod, I hope this tortilla blanket keeps you warm during the holidays. From your nothing major, Secret Santa. I mean, this thing actually, yeah, I'm actually going to sleep with this tonight. It's unbelievable.
Does look pretty cozy.
It is actually. Oh, man.
Right.
Yeah,
Is that full cashmere's, Jack?
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, boys, we are going to write down who we think sent us each our gifts. We'll start with John. John was given the cane, and he thinks Jack sent it to him. I personally think he is right on that. Can the gift giver reveal themselves and their thought process?
He looks like he's thinking over there. He wants to say something.
No, it's Jack.
No. Yeah, I think it's Jack as well.
100% correct. It was me.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Gosh, what a guess. He's the grandpa of the group. He's the mayor of Dallas. He's been
all good things.
He's been around a long time. He's got a lot of grays coming in, so he deserves a walking cane.
Yeah. All right.
Kind of the direction I was heading there.
John, you gonna find that cane useful at some point, or are we just gonna kind of put it behind the door and hope we don't have to use it?
It's adjustable. It collapses, so it doesn't take up much room. If I don't feel like I need it right now in my 39th year of life, once I hit 40 in about 5 months or so, I might dust this thing off. Yeah.
All right.
So I appreciate it.
I just want to see you get on the plane and like collapse it and put it in like the overhead storage.
All right. Well, good gift. All right. We are going to move over to Sam. Sam guessed.
I guessed you.
He's correct. I did get him some bacon. And the good news for Sam, my original package will come today. So he's going to have more bacon sent to the house. So I had Abby, his wife, lifesaver, had to go last night, grab me some bacon at the store. And she said I'd cook some up for him to enjoy on the podcast. I was like, you're going above and beyond. And I thank you for that. So the good thing is Sam will have another few pounds of bacon today, sent to his house.
Wow.
So
you're making Abby do all the work.
Oh, so wait.
Yeah.
I thought you, because did you actually ask Abby to get up at 5 o'clock to cook the bacon? Because she did.
This is what happened. So I had confirmation of delivery on Saturday, or I was basically like, it'll be delivered Saturday, whatever. Figured I'd give myself 1 day leeway on a Monday to get this thing, because we record on a Tuesday. So basically it was like not coming. So I told her, I was like, hey, there's going to be a perishable package at your doorstep. At some point, can a neighbor grab it since you're in, wherever you guys were? And so then she was like, hey, I have to go to the store anyway, because I was just going to Instacart bacon to the house kind of thing. And she's like, no, I'm going to the store. So I just sent her a little Venmo. I said, can you please just get us some delicious bacon for the, whatever. She's like, no problem. She's like, hey, and I'll cook some up for him. Like, you're going above and beyond. I thank you for that. And it's going to be great content. So I thank Abby for that. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I want you to change your tune on bacon.
I got it right. Good gift.
Moving over to myself, I had guessed John got me the hockey socks, and relatively an easy process of elimination here. Sam doesn't know hockey. I don't really think Jack knows hockey that well either. So just John. So, John knows that the Anaheim Ducks are my favorite team probably of all time. And he got me their, it's not really a rivalry if you never beat anyone. So I guess go Kings go for the next,
there you go.
The rest of the podcast, put
Hey,
these
wear
socks
those on
on.
Christmas Day.
Probably not. Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. I'll send you a picture with them on. And Jack, we have a little controversy now.
I got played by the note.
The note played Jack.
Yes, sure. Note 1, me 0. Surely I thought as one of 2 thick boys that came from Stevie, as we've been labeled, which was a great call. Pre-show, I put up my phone. I said Sam. I thought Sam had me just in general, and I should have stuck with it. I apologize. Incredible gift.
It's a tortilla blanket.
So
yeah,
good.
The thing's awesome. Like with this jacket, what else? Yeah, we're dialed. Thank you for the gift.
Did you write that note, Sam, or was that trickery on your behalf?
I wrote the note.
Okay.
Yeah, that felt like an obvious answer with Stevie, and then now I feel dumb, but it's all good.
No, I was a little thrown off because I thought initially, Stevie makes fun of me for being old the most.
For sure.
And then I heard your note. Then I got a little confused. And I thought maybe, of course, that was Stevie that sent you the blanket with the thick boy note.
Yeah.
But anyways, I stuck with my original answer. I'm glad I did.
Maybe I sent all you guys the gifts.
No.
It's kind of what it feels
Yeah,
like.
no. That was not the case. All right, boys. Well, good gifts. We're gonna turn Sam into a bacon fan here at some point, and there's gonna be a lot of longevity, except for Sam's Bacon in the Month Club that's gonna come every month for the next 10 years.
Okay, so we are keeping with the holiday theme. Christmas is, of course, around the corner. We're going to do a little ATP edition of the naughty and nice list. We're each going to choose one player on our nice list and one player on our naughty list from the ATP side. And that's it. So let's start with the nice players. I think the naughty is going to be a funner segment. But we'll start with nice, and I'll start with Stevie.
Oh,
You're gonna
thank
go
you.
first. Choose anyone on the ATP tour that you consider a very nice dude. That would get a lot of gifts from Santa.
Yeah, I think on the nice list, I'm gonna have to go. The list is incredible. There's so many great guys on the tour. It is a fun place to go to work, as we call it. But I'm going to give my nice player list here to Grigor Dimitrov. He is an absolute fan favorite. I've known him for a long time. He is actually an incredible gift giver, as Sam would know. And he's very thoughtful, kind of out of the blue, doing certain things, So Grigor is somebody that I hope can eclipse the milestone of a slam at some point in his career. He's such an incredible tennis player to watch and an even better person off the court. So Grigor is definitely headlining my nice list this year.
That's a good pick.
All right.
I would love to be on his inner circle, like you said.
Oh,
I feel like
I think he would give great gift like all the time. Yeah, it would be fun to have.
Sam.
My nice list is Novak Djokovic. I feel like he's done almost like a 180. You go back like 12 years ago, he was kind of, some people didn't like him. Some people liked him. Now I feel like he's pretty much universally liked. Went down to Argentina to have a send off for Delpo. He's just a great guy. He's just, I hope he gets one more major. And Novak's on my nice list.
All right, Jack.
Yeah, I'm sticking with my sportsmanship. Yeah, my sportsmanship award guy, Casper Ruud. He was on the pod. He's just there. You can never say a bad thing about him. He is genuinely, I feel like, one of the nicest dudes ever. He's always smiling. He's always seems like he's always in a good mood. And just seems like he'd be, one of the nicest out there and get all of the presents for Christmas.
Good answer. All right, I'm going to round this off. I'm going to say Hubert Hurkacz.
Oh,
he's a nice guy.
He's
a nice guy.
He's just He's like a little puppy dog, so naive.
He's almost too nice. It's a little
So genial out there. I think he's got like I don't think he's too nice, Jack. I think he's, of course, off the court. I don't think that's his how jovial he is a detriment to him on the court. I think he's got a bit of a mean streak on the court. But anyways, off the court.
Wait, let me ask you. Do you think Hercox, like we all, of course, like in private, you're like, oh, this player is annoying. Do you think Hercox ever does that?
No, and I don't think so.
Yeah, I think he's done it like once and probably felt bad about it.
Yeah, probably did, and immediately regretted it. All right, here we go. Let's continue. Who is going to get lumps of coal in their stocking on the ATP list? All right, and we're gonna reverse it. Stevie, you're going to go last. Sam, you go first. Jack, you're in the middle. Sam, naughty list, ATP side.
Naughty list. I'm going to our guest from last week, Curious. I feel like he's already controversial. I feel like this next year he's going to play limited events and even just try to be like more controversial with the way he acts and things he says and things he does. So he is on my naughty list, and Santa is bringing him some coal.
Jack.
I'm going to go with Rublev on this one. Andre Rublev. Just on court, gosh, he seems like he's got some demons going on. He self-inflicts pain with his racket. Like he's doing like some crazy stuff, kind of always feel like complaining, kind of whining about something. And so, I don't think Santa's going to be too happy with him this holiday season.
Stevie?
Oh, man. Yeah, Rublev's a good pick. I'm not going to piggyback on that one. I'm going to go with Francis Tiafoe.
Ooh.
Just because of one epic meltdown in Shanghai. Overall, he is such a fun kid and guy to have around. He's always smiling. 99% of the time he brings nothing but joy out there. But I'm just going to go with that. As somebody who had a few of those epic meltdowns, I respected that. If you're going to go all in on a meltdown. So, the pocketbook hurt a little bit after that, I'm sure, with the fines, but he probably got it out of his system. So the rest of his career, he's good to go. So sorry, Francis, I had to put you on the naughty list for just this, probably about a 2 to 3 minute, meltdown in Shanghai.
All right. I'll round it off. I'm going to go with the mainstay. I feel this guy's a mainstay on the naughty list, and he likes it. It's kind of uses it as fuel. Daniil Medvedev. Bit of a villain out there. Everyone likes him, though, but he plays to the crowd. He likes when the crowd boos him. He's totally fine with his stocking being full of coal. He doesn't care. So Medvedev, he's been doing this stuff for a handful of years now. When he had that legendary interview after he beat Feliciano Lopez at the U.S. Open like 4 or 5 years ago, and he was egging on the New York crowd. So Medvedev is my answer there.
It's a good pick.
Didn't he also hand money to an umpire at Wimbledon?
He threw some money out there. Yeah,
he took out his little wallet, his little European wallet.
He really grabbed their wallet and started.
Yeah, like get little Euro coins, or maybe they were rubles or whatever.
Right? Yeah, was he saving those for like the laundromat in Monte Carlo?
Yeah, and he just was flicking them over.
That's a great pick though. He is like that villain that you cheer for. He's a likable villain. We asked the listeners some questions about the off season. So on Instagram, we had a ton of questions that people wrote into us. We're going to go over a few of them now. Let's start out. We all play tennis. We all know the off season is kind of November, December. So John, how much of your off season did you spend like taking time off, going on vacation versus like just training and starting for the next year? Let's assume kind of like when I feel like when you played, everyone had about 7 or 8 weeks. So within that 7 or 8 week time frame, how much was a vacation off time? How much were you playing?
Yeah, I never took a vacation because typically, especially when I was living in Florida, I wasn't married yet, didn't have a family, so I didn't really feel the need to like take a vacation. I would enjoy my time in Tampa, Florida. Like in my downtime, I kind of found myself playing golf, or if I did want to travel, I would go up to North Carolina and see my family. But for me, I mean, truthfully, and obviously, I think I'm a little bit of a different case just by virtue of how I played on the court. But I think everyone, this might be a controversial opinion, I think everyone overrates the off season. I think what's important is, yes, you can put the rackets away for 3 or 4 weeks. Like that's fine. But, still be going to the gym to keep your body feeling strong and feeling fit. I don't think, for me, I never treated it as a time where I really needed to feel like I had to just bust my to get better. Like I was already in pretty good shape, so I just needed to kind of maintain what I had. And the way I did that was by staying in the gym really each and every day, which wasn't that taxing on me. Like it's fine not to practice. Like that would sometimes mentally wear me out. But for me, staying in the gym to keep my body feeling fit and strong. So then when it came time to pick the rackets back up, I could kind of hit the ground running. And I wasn't, maybe early on in my career, I would run track and stuff like that. Then I thought, like, what am I doing? Like, this is stupid. I don't run around. It just makes my body feel horrible. I, would lift a lot of weight. I would do conditioning on the bike and I would practice. And I wouldn't try to overdo it. I just try to make sure I was fresh, of course, physically and mentally before I got on the plane and went to Australia. I mean, you see players, on Instagram running on the track, and most players make their hay by running around the court, hitting a lot of balls. So I get that. But for me, it was different. I worked hard, but I just made sure I made good decisions, ate well, slept well, worked hard in the gym right when the season was over. And then when it came time to pick up the rackets, I was ready to go.
Stevie, you and I did our offseason together for probably 10 years. What was the longest amount of time after the Paris Masters Series that you took off with never hitting a tennis ball?
If I could, I would never touch a racket in November. I mean, that was my goal. So even if that meant, tanking first round of Paris on like October 31st, just to get out of there. That was my goal, to just never play tennis in November. I would do kind of the same as John. I really enjoyed working out. That wasn't a chore to me. That didn't feel like a job. So all of November, I'd spend, let's call it 90 minutes in the gym, pretty much like 5 or 6 days a week, for a couple reasons. One, to kind of keep your shape, keep your cardio. If you are trying to strengthen certain muscles, shoulders, knees, rehabs, whatever you're trying to get after. And unfortunately for me, and perhaps Jack a little bit here, we got a little naughty with the food. So there was some times that, we had to drop a few LBs, certain points of the off season. So there was a few times that, I had to be very strict with the diet and whatnot, but November was strictly gym stuff for me. And that was always just a mental refresh. Like for me, it was never mentally taxing to go to the gym. It's just go there and work hard. Like it is taxing to be on a practice court. Think about forehands, backhands, whatever it may be. So I enjoyed that aspect of it. So November was always gym and track. And if I could not run it with Sam, because contrary to popular belief, he was like a gazelle out there. He's the most underrated track athlete, I think, in tennis.
Really?
No, yeah. Sam, if he wanted to run and try, nobody was touching him.
Wow.
No, seriously. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Olympic speed over here.
Wow.
Potentially.
Big strides.
For 6'6", you're one of the best movers, 6'5" and over movers out there. I think you were just gifted with that. It is very impressive. But you also thought that you could play Division I wide receiver, and that's where I kind of...
He did.
I did.
That's where I'm like, all right, you're a good athlete. You're not... I mean, you can't just jump in and play...
I said not at a powerhouse school.
No.
But you said D1.
No.
But like a Utah State or something like that.
I'm with John on this one. Sam was very adamant that he could play D1, like big time receiver. And then we are lucky enough to train here at Carson. They have like both Rose Bowl teams come and practice there. So we went over to I forget who was practicing. And we were watching these guys play and practice. And I'm pretty sure Sam, backtracked that statement very quickly because these guys are animals, dude. Like Sam's not going across the middle and taking a hit. It's not happening.
I'm just streaking down the sideline.
Also, you're not shaking the DB either, though. You're not giving him.
I'm not talking now, like when I was 22.
In Sam's prime.
I still kind of stand by that statement.
2 working Achilles, Sam was a different animal.
Yeah. Did you guys ever play, like in the off season, you're training for kind of the Australian Open, 3 out of 5 practice matches? I feel like I never once played a practice match in the off season where I went out there and played like Stevie or someone else in a 3 out of 5 match. John, you ever do that? I don't think the players do it.
I did do that in Tampa just because I was going along with the crowd. But I mean, I always thought it was kind of silly because you take 3 weeks off after the last tournament. It's not like you got into horrible shape. As I talked about, I was staying in the gym and I just played a full year of Grand Slams, winning matches at Grand Slam tournaments. It's not like I couldn't withstand the rigors of 3 out of 5 sets. But yes, I remember being in Tampa, Florida, and I would play we would play 3 out of 5 set matches. And back in the old school days, we had James on our pod back at Saddlebrook. I would play James and 3 out of 5. And actually, truthfully, it was kind of fun, but I think it was overrated. We had these like battles, like 6-4, 6-7, 6-3, 4-6, 7-5 for James, and like, obviously when you get to a fifth set, it kind of becomes competitive, but I always thought it was a little bit overrated. I think when you get to a Grand Slam, 3 out of 5 is sort of a mental battle, and all of us knew that we could do that. So I think preparing and playing for 4 straight hours, 3 out of 5 sets in December was a little bit overrated, but it was something I did do. Sam, you never did it. You just said. Stevie, did you ever do that?
No, it's completely overrated to play 3 out of 5. Like mentally, like you just stated, it's taxing. It's emotionally taxing. You're never going to get that same feeling in practice as you do in a match. Like your body's not going to feel the same way. Your emotions aren't going to be the same way. You're not going to be tired. It's will out there. It has nothing to do with what you did in December. You can't go to the gym and train for 4 hours, 5 hours. Like that's impossible to get ready. You're just going to break yourself down. So that's all mental when you get out to a Grand Slam. So I think it's overrated to play 5 sets unless you are like a first-year pro and you've never done it, just to like get that feeling. But it's hard to replicate. I think it's impossible.
All right, I got a good one here. This is from Zarlock Adam. I'm guessing his name is Adam Zarlock. Do players actually want a longer offseason? So my thoughts are like everyone always like complains that they want a longer offseason, but I actually don't think they want a longer offseason. That just takes away a bunch of opportunities. Maybe a few of the top guys do, but I don't think players actually want a longer offseason. Jack, do you think that the players did you want a longer offseason, or do you think that just like one of those narratives that players talk about and they actually like the schedule as it is?
I think a lot of tennis players, as we know, are just absolutely obsessed with tennis. They don't have anything really much going on outside of tennis at times, and they eat, sleep, breathe tennis, which is what you're supposed to do when you're a professional athlete, probably your sport. I found joy in things outside of tennis for sure, and so I wouldn't have minded, if we had a little bit of time, you could go around and go to different sporting events, or you could go on holidays or vacations, or spend time away from tennis a little bit. But at the end of the day, I never was like felt rushed or anything to thinking we had to get to Australia or whatever, other than the one year making the year-end finals was the only time I felt like I got home and I like turned around in a few weeks and went back to Australia. That felt a little rushed. Outside of that, no, I don't think any other players really wish for a longer off season. I think it's just a trendy thing to talk about in the moment, but no one actually wants that or believes it.
Yeah, I mean, I never had an issue with the off season. Like I enjoyed it as it is. Like for me, it almost is like the more time I took off, like the worse I would feel. So I kind of had to just keep my body going. And a lot of the times I didn't play the first week in Australia as well. So I wasn't really leaving around Christmas time or a little bit after Christmas. I was always leaving, around January 3rd, 4th. So I felt like I had plenty of time to prep. I think the short off season, Sam, you hit the nail on the head. It's a narrative. I look, as players, you make your own schedule. No one forces you to play 34 tournaments throughout the calendar year. I get it. If you're ranked lower, you want to try to get to the top 100, you're going to be playing a lot. But for the players that inside the top 50 that complain about the off season, I think it's a little bit overrated. No one has forced you to play 28, 30 tournaments a year. You make your own schedule. You give yourself breaks, which is something all of us did. We would give ourselves 2-3 week breaks 3 or 4 times throughout the season to refresh. So I never felt completely worn out at the end of the year. I also never felt rushed getting ready for the Australian Open. So I think the schedule, I've said it before, I don't have an issue with the schedule. It's something that we're used to. And you just go about this. I would always just go about my business, and I knew what I needed to do to get my body right. And if anything, I could have gotten ready a little bit quicker. So I'm not saying it's the offseason is too long. I think it's just right, though.
All right. Cooper Lacatera wants to know, do you get drug tested in the offseason? So as we know, like during tournaments, you can get drug tested whenever. But Stevie, what is drug testing like in the offseason, or for that matter, anytime when you're not at a tournament and home?
Yeah, I think the tennis drug testing is the most strenuous and annoying of any professional athlete. You know, we all are friends with people across all major sports. They get ample notice, you know, they'll get a note in their locker, whatever. We have to give, you know, certain ranking thresholds. You're in at different drug testing pools, whatever. But, you know, for the four of us, for our entire careers, we had to give 1 hour a day where we would be every single day of the year, regardless. And they can show up at any given time during that hour, outside of that hour. But, you know, there's certain mistakes and stuff. You've seen people get suspended for missing drug tests like that. And, you know, we got drug tested quite a bit. Sam and I were kind of lucky because we would have the same people come to our houses. So like, hey, like, you know, so-and-so came to my house today. Like, I bet he's coming to get you like tomorrow, because they just have a list and they knock it out. And I want to say across the board, like in a typical November, December, I probably got drug tested 5 or 6 times. And they just knock on your door, and it's, you know, it's urine, it's blood, it's whatever. But it's, for the tennis players, it's annoying, because even if you go on vacation, you have to tell them where you are, what hotel you're at. So, you know, I don't have a lot of sympathy for other athletes when they tell me their drug testing is hard, when, you know, on your wedding day or your honeymoon, like, you have to go and say, hey, I'll be here. Please come enjoy. Like, come get me at 6 a.m. Like, please come on over.
Yeah, were you guys the early morning slot always?
I always did 5 to 6 in the morning, because I knew I'd be home. Like, usually you'd have to wake up and go to the bathroom. Like, but Sam and I had the worst guy. I forget which one he was. Do you remember Sam? I don't want to blow him up. He might be a listener, but Tom was the worst. Worst. Like, this guy was an absolute, like, would show up and just disheveled, never on time. Like, it just was like annoying. Sam and I have some great stories with him, which we maybe share at a later date. But yeah, it was fun times to be on the drug testing pool.
Was there anything, my hour was always 6 to 7 a.m. and living in Florida, obviously professional athletes live all over Florida. So I got drug tested a lot just by virtue of this, the sheer amount of professional athletes that lived around Tampa, Florida, where I lived. So my hour, 6 to 7 a.m., there would be countless times where I would get up at like 5:55 and like have to pee. Get up, go pee, go back to bed. Oh, I got another hour and a half of sleep, whatever it is. Doorbell rings. Then it's like, I know exactly what this is.
The worst, dude.
Let him in, and you got to just hang out with your drug testing buddy for like another hour until you can go to the bathroom again. Just like flip on Sports Center, make coffee, offer him coffee, start chugging water. The whole thing was awkward. Sometimes you could time it perfectly, right? The doorbell rings, and you're like, it's like, hurry, come in. I got to pee right now. Like, hurry, come in.
It's the best day to start your day.
Yeah, but the other sometimes you just gone to the bathroom and you're sort of screwed. You got to just chug water until you can go again, and they have to hang out with you. Like, it can be, if you wanted to hold in a piss for 4 hours, they had to hang out with you for 4 hours.
The amount of first take hours I've watched with a drug tester in my house is incredible.
Yeah. No, so I went to the airport once with a drug tester because I had a flight to catch, like either going to a tournament or going to visit my parents. I don't know what it was. I'm like, dude, like, I have a flight at 8 a.m. I just went to the bathroom. He followed me to the Tampa airport.
Would they let you get on the flight at that
No,
point?
no. What I told him, I'm like, once I finish with the check-in process, I'll likely have to go to the bathroom. So I'm not going to go through security. I kind of told him that was the deal. And he's like, all right. And sure enough, like, I checked my bags in, hadn't gone through security. I'm like, all right, I can pee now. And he would go to the airport bathroom. That happened one time. But that's how tricky. If you don't give him that sample, it counts as a missed test. Yep. And if you have 3 of those, as we know, we've seen with Jensen Brooksby,
Michael Emer.
Yes, and Michael Emer, the 2 big cases on the men's side, just flat out 3 missed tests. They got full on suspended for 12 to 18 months.
I've had the same. I've gone to the airport with a drug tester before, and then comes to the bathroom stall with me.
So uncomfortable.
Yeah. We ride an Uber together to the airport. It's absolutely brutal. Hold on, I got G. Sean 14. I'm going to start with Jack. I feel like we're all going to have the same answer on this. Out of the big 3, who would you want to go on a coffee date with?
Oh, that's easy. It's Federer.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I mean, Roger, yeah. Also, conversation's going to be nice. You have a nice scarf on. He's going to look smooth. The conversation's going to be smooth because it's him. Yeah. It's just, he's going to...
Novak doesn't drink coffee.
Yeah, that's the thing. Novak will tell you like why it's bad for you the whole time.
Yeah, he doesn't drink coffee.
And then Rafa will have just too many like idiosyncrasies and be like moving cups around the whole time. It'll be uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, how good would coffee in Switzerland in November be with Federer?
I was just thinking that, dude. Like
It'd be unreal.
you're like a mountain resort and you get like a little, you have like a little coffee outside out in the yeah, that'd be insane.
I would fly to Switzerland like just to do that and fly back
Yeah,
home.
say it for sure. I feel like Roger, though, if he was in Switzerland and you shot him a text like, "Hey, I'm in Switzerland. You want to grab a coffee?" He seems like he would do it. Honestly,
I think he would say yes.
Had the
I think
time.
he would.
Yeah, he would. If he was in the same city, yeah.
Okay, next question is from C. Daniel Sill. These names are so hard to pronounce. Anyway, how much, if any, in the offseason is spent on technical changes to a certain shot? So, Stevie, did you ever in the offseason say like, "Hey, I want to make like a major technical change"? Did you work on it, or was your offseason just consisting of I just kind of want to get better all around as a player?
Yeah, you always want to just get better. At least for me, I wasn't reinventing the wheel in 3 weeks when I was playing tennis, getting ready for Australia. So it was just kind of tick a few boxes, be mentally fresh. And, for me, competing was the most important thing. So if I went to Australia fresh and ready to compete every single point, great off season. That was it for me.
I think it's hard for most pros to technically change a major part of their game. Like once you're 18, 20 years old, it's hard to take your forehand and change your grip or change your technique on something. John, did you ever change, like during your career, did you ever change something like technical wise?
No, I would never mess with the technique. I would work on certain shots in the off season. Like in particular for me, second serve returns, we're getting down to the brass tacks here. Second serve return on the ad side, hitting that backhand up the line. And I would rep that as much as I possibly could because I think the reason why is because right-handers, they serve second serve on the ad side. They typically kind of fall and lean towards the ad side of the court. So the down the line backhand is open to hit for a second serve return winner. And I would work on that specific shot a lot because I knew that for me, I needed to be as aggressive as possible on second serve return. So, but never tinkered with the grip or anything technical, but I would certainly work on certain shots and I would try to single those out throughout the course of an off season.
Yeah, I think you're completely right on that. Like John, I don't think you're changing technique too much like these, for these players. It's a specific shot or something that you want to add to your game. Because it's just hard. Like we're all gotten to the point with whatever we have. And those kind of shots, when you're at break point, one time a match, it's a massive, massive difference. So yeah, good call on that one. It's definitely more of a shot basis than a, technique, change, I would say.
Reed Bach asks, what is the only thing pros will be experimenting with? Rackets, strings, fitness. So I kind of think with players, when it comes to experimenting with rackets, I feel like most players might have one racket change over the course of their career, maybe two. So you'd experiment with that. Strings, I think a little more. I think all of us, maybe not John that much, but most players, I feel like during the course of their career, let's say you played 15 years, maybe you played with 3 or 4 different string types. So I feel like in the off season, that's when you would experiment maybe more with strings and tension. Maybe you'd look at a different racket, but not too often. You kind of agree with that, Stevie?
Yeah, for sure. I guess maybe I'm a little weird with this, but I would always, if it was like a contract year, whatever, if you were looking to switch rackets, I would try and get them in my hand after the US Open. And I would try them for a week after the US Open before kind of going off to Asia. Because we all know right away if you like or dislike a racket, you don't need to spend that much time with it. I feel, 5-10 minutes, you're like, this is good, this is bad, whatever. So at least you have it narrowed down to maybe 1 or 2 frames if you are looking to switch. That way, once you get to December, you're right. You don't want to start testing rackets, middle of December. Then it's just hard to get them for Australia, all this stuff. So that's kind of how I did it. But I was a creature of habit. And I guess, John is definitely a creature of habit because I don't think he ever changed rackets or strings. But, I only changed rackets once in my career and strings maybe once. So I kept everything pretty similar. The weapon in my hand was the same for the bulk of my career.
What was that hideous red string you played with, John?
It's a Technofiber string.
Yeah.
I tried it my sophomore year in college. I got my Coach Diaz put the Prince 03 white in my hand with the holes, and I'm like, oh, this feels good.
Never looked back.
Technofiber was sponsoring a lot of colleges back then on the string front, and had this red polyester string, and I'm like, this feels good too. All right, I like it. Good, I'm sold. And I never ever changed.
Did you ever try anything else, or like?
I did. I tried the black the RPM from Babolat for like one tournament.
Yeah.
And it destroyed my elbow. I'm like, what am I? I don't know.
You tried it in a tournament?
Shanghai. Yeah. It was a bad idea, and I didn't want to do it. I wasn't sold on it anyways. But some people had convinced me I should try to do that because like I'm playing with outdated technology. The bad idea. I went immediately back to my red string and had good results.
Was that a former guest of our podcast trying to get you to change those strings? The only coach we've had on.
No, it wasn't CD.
It wasn't CD. Okay.
No, not at all.
He's not afraid to tinker. You know.
Yeah. Stevie likes to
I
tinker
tell you,
with
the
stuff.
ultimate tinkerer is Sam Query on the string front.
Dude.
I feel you were always
What?
changing strings.
He would string a racket at 30 pounds and then 80 pounds and be like, I don't know what's wrong today.
But different
That's true,
string,
that's
like gut locks, this, that. Like you were messing with the strings a lot, and like it's fine. But we also know that the reason why I didn't. One of the main reasons I didn't want everyone to try new frames is everyone knows you get something new in your hand, you're going to be eager and excited to try it out. So sort of it's that honeymoon period. Excuse me.
For sure.
It's going to feel good. Like, oh, this racket's brand new. I'm excited to try it. It feels good. I'm hitting the ball great. Then you've seen players in the past, like I'm switching this racket and they get down to Australia and it's the pressure point in the match and they cannot execute if they don't have the confidence in their racket. It's not something. So you got to be, as players, you got to be leery of the fact that when you first try something new, typically it's going to feel pretty good, but you have to have the utmost faith in that stick that under pressure, you're going to be able to perform as well. Because the racket that you've been playing with for years and years and years, nothing's going to quite feel like that under pressure.
All right. Amazing fan questions. I love the fan question segments. We'll do them again. So now we're going to get into, we're going to review and react ATP Awards. 2 weeks ago, I think we talked about the ATP Awards and we all guessed, right, on who was going to win these. So we want to react on that. So we're going to start with Comeback Player of the Year. It's Matteo Berrettini. Myself, Jack, and Isner got it right. Stevie,
Thought I had a chance on that
with
one.
the worst answer in maybe the history of the podcast, said Kei Nishikori.
That's not the worst answer we've ever heard on this podcast. You've had a lot of bad ones, Sam.
Ooh.
But I was very clear that I just love watching Kei play. That's it.
That wasn't the question. Wasn't who's your favorite player to watch play?
That was my answer, so it doesn't really matter.
It was not the question. I'll preface this by saying we have all said a lot of horrible things on this podcast with some bad answers. And Stevie's Nishikori for Comeback Player of the Year, I think is a top 3 candidate. I wouldn't put it at number 1.
Absolutely.
No, Sam takes that cake most of the time.
Okay, yeah. But as Sam said, just because you like someone watching him play doesn't mean he's a Comeback Player of the Year. So anyways, let's move on.
What do you mean? Jack picked somebody on this list that wasn't even on the list at some point. So come on now.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. We'll get to that one in a minute.
Isner, when we were doing a random player of the week, picked a player that we'd also picked too. So that was also maybe another top.
The week prior.
I think that could be the number 1 horrible answer. I'm happy to take that. That's fine.
Oh, goodness.
All right, moving on. Most improved player of the year. I'm gonna botch the name. Mapeshi Pericard.
I think it's just Pesci. It's a silent M.
Pesci Pericard. John Isner and Jack Sock got it right. This one is recency bias, in my opinion, because he won Basel late. Stevie knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
John, don't you think a little bit there's some recency bias to that?
I don't think so. I remember.
Well, of course you don't think so. You got the answer
John's
right.
too close to the situation with that serve.
I like the big serve. I was always going to say him. I feel like he came out of completely nowhere. He was playing. He won a challenger in Acapulco, at the same site as the ATP 500, early in the year. No one knew about him or anything like that. So came from nowhere at the beginning of the year. Then you win a 500. Pretty big deal.
All right, fair enough. Sportsmanship Award. Isn't the only one to get this right? It was Dimitrov. I mean, Jack, I think we're all okay with that one. Jack's played Dimitrov a few times. You guys had some good banter on the court.
It's a good call from John, honestly. I mean, he's always, nothing bad to say about him. Always been a nice dude, so makes sense.
You guys remember watching Jack play Grigor in Stockholm? They each hit like 4 ridiculous.
No, he went back to back on me. I see it like every other week on Instagram. I get tagged in another video of it, and
You're good at that as well.
yeah.
Yeah, Jack ran around a second serve and hit it up the middle at 400 miles an hour. And the Dimitrov goes like tweener to the open court.
Yeah, I hit as hard as I could. I will say I was the second one. I could have ran down, maybe kind of let it play out. Just walked up and
Better let that one go. Highlight reel.
that's kind of what I was thinking.
Who won that match?
He did. After those, how do you recover from that? You can't.
Yeah, he's good in Stockholm. Newcomer of the year, Mensick. Isner, the only one. I feel like Isner had these results before we.
Yeah, he had the answers to the test before we did it.
Isner, the only one to get that right.
Big player, big game. I actually was surprised I got that one right, truthfully, but
You're the only one. Coach of the year, me, Isner, and Stevie got this right. I don't remember who Jack picked.
Picked me. This is
I picked Stevie.
Oh, you picked Stevie. That's right. So Stevie probably came in second. I think we're all pumped here. Mikey Russell, fantastic coach. Stevie knows him, and he deserves it. Did a great job with Taylor.
That partnership seems to be working out extremely well. Happy for both those guys. Mike is somebody who was, he kind of flew under the radar as a player, but was an absolute animal for his entire career. And just really happy for him, to have some of this recognition, and hopefully they can get that slam in 2025.
For sure. Fan favorite, Sinner, repeat from 2023. No one got that right. I don't remember who everyone says. I
think I picked
probably
Carlos.
said Alcaraz. I'm not surprised. I mean, he's number one in the world. He had one of the greatest seasons ever. Alcaraz does seem like, we kind of talked about this last week, has maybe a little more personality. That's why I probably would have thought Alcaraz would have won fan favorite. But Isner, are you surprised with Sinner getting this title again?
I'm a little bit surprised. It's not because of his personality, but his 2024 was a bit polarizing. As we know, some stuff went on with him with that positive test that he was cleared of. So a lot of people, weren't fans of that. Nick Kyrgios being one of them, as we know. So I thought maybe that could have hurt him a little bit as far as fan favorite goes, but it didn't. And kudos to him.
Yeah, fan favorite doubles player. No one got it right, shockingly. I don't even think anyone, or Isner was the only one that actually put a vote in here with his buddy from Georgia. But Simone Bolelli and Andrea Vavasori, and that's all we're going to say. No one got it right. So ultimately here, John Isner was the winner with these votes. 5 out of 7 categories. The only one you missed was fan favorite. So congrats to John for winning that. You get no prizes on the podcast, but you were the best, best at that. All right, two more things we wanted to touch on here. Our Vegas party poll came back. It was guys we wanted to go to Vegas with. Jack Sock's team with the W here. 43% want to go to Vegas with Jack, Nick Kyrgios, Gael Monfils, and Xavier Malisse. All I'm going to say is here, Stevie came in second, John in third, me in fourth. But I had a horrible team. I'm going to admit that. I got 6% of the votes. Looking at it here, John's team was the best. I do feel John's team was the best. You guys don't think so? I mean,
guys, can I tell you why I lost?
Yes, tell us why you lost.
Because Stevie and Jack both chose 2 current players. Fair enough, I guess.
Jack's got voted number 1 by the fans, but it just
by a mile. It wasn't even.
That's
wasn't
true.
even close
By a lot.
And Sam, any thoughts? Any parting thoughts on this? Or
I got 6% of the vote. I had a horrible draft. My team sucks. I regret all 3 picks that I have.
Ooh, even James.
Even James.
Oh,
hey, but Sam, as bad as your team was, your 3 guys to not go to Vegas was 10 times worse.
yes, that's true.
We will see. I just had an off week with the drafts. And then one other thing we're gonna react to, the tennis commissioner from November. We all put together kind of like a little 30, 45-second rant of, if we were commissioner of tennis, what things would we implement, change? What would the tour look like? And John Isner, with 42% of the vote, won this one. And it's because he threw in the mixed double. He's a politician. He got the female vote, and that is why he won this. And I don't hate the idea, though. I actually liked your idea. So as much as I think mine was the best, John got the W with the fans at 42%. Then I edged out Stevie by a little bit, and Jack.
Yeah, wow. Why is mine so bad? I don't understand.
You came in first place with the Vegas team, last place with the tennis commissioner.
I would say maybe lacked a little substance, Jack. Just, a fun fall season.
Fall fun season sounds like a carnival.
Yeah, see, I think I got screwed by Charlie and Sift Creative there on that one because that was supposed to be like a team event. that was supposed to be like a team event. A team event in the fall would be super fun. That's what that was. And yeah, less events a year, you get more money, and yeah, tops and backhands suck. So
all right, well, Isner really played it like a true politician, bringing the female vote in.
I just don't get how he's going to pull that off. But yes, it would be fun, but there's zero chance that they could get people to stay for a second week mixed doubles event if they lose early. All right, everyone, that is it for this week's episode. We are going to put a pause on Random Player of the Week. Also, we have a new segment to finish the show, and it's going to be a trivia question. Sam will be the one asking, and the three of us will try and get this one correct. But before we get to him, thank you, everyone, for the positive reviews and subscribing to the podcast. Remember, there is no freeloading out here, so subscribe to Nothing Major on your favorite podcast platform. Leave us a rating and review. We'd really appreciate it. And of course, follow us on all the socials at Nothing Major Pod on Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube. Full audio episodes every Friday, and those full YouTube episodes every Monday. So with that, Sam, the floor is yours for trivia.
Okay. So since 2005, we've had 40 majors, maybe 39 since we missed one for COVID. So that's 80 finalists. Out of those finalists, I want to know how many of them are not from Europe.
So they can also have won the major too.
They could have won the major or made a final.
All right.
Ready, set, go. 1 minute.
Delpo, Fritz, K.
Delpo, Fritz, K.
Roddick.
Nalbandian? Was he ever in there?
Roddick.
No, Roddick, yes.
2005.
Okay.
Oh man, not from Europe. This is hard.
This is hard.
Not from Europe. Raonic.
Yep. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Good call.
Gosh, great one.
That's 5. We have. We needed some South American guys. I feel
know. Yeah,
like.
I'm trying to think.
Like a random.
Early,
30 seconds left.
Like Coria, was that ever 2005?
No,
or was that
I'll give you a hint. There's a South American on there.
Guys, Mariano Puerta.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
What?
Yeah.
I don't even know who that is.
Okay, that's only 6. There's 5 more, dude.
What? 1, 2.
This is too
3.
many.
There's 4 more.
Chilich.
Chill, it's Europe.
When did Hewitt make his last
Croatia's
final?
in Europe.
Hewitt.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Hewitt, Kyrgios.
Hewitt. Kyrgios. 2 more.
Oh yeah, Nick.
Time's up. You missed
We
2.
had,
So we had Delpo, Fritz.
no, I had 8.
You had
K.
Hewitt, Roddick, Mariano Puerta, Delpo, Nishikori, Raonic, Kyrgios, Fritz. You've missed 2.
Okay, yeah. Can you give
Top
us
one.
a country, or not a country, but like a region? North or South America?
There's one other American, and I think it was 05.
Agassi?
Agassi.
Okay, that was stupid of us.
That's kind of tricky.
That's tricky. And one other one, you're missing a guy that made 2 finals. Played college. This is gonna give it away. He played college.
Kevin
tennis.
Anderson.
Kevin Anderson.
Oh
my
my
God.
John, that's on you, dude. You lost to him in a semi.
No, that is on me.
You lost to him in a semi, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right, you guys did a pretty good job. The Mariana Puerta toss from Isner was good. The
Yeah, that's
Agassi one's
incredible.
tough because you don't
Was
think of
Puerta
Agassi.
in 2005?
Must have been.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That 2005 year had like Hewitt, Roddick, Agassi, Puerta had like quite a few. All right, good job.
Well, good episode, boys. Good job.